All right, well, it's 9:06, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And we'll have some other people that join halfway through, but want to be cognizant of your time. And also, I just want to take a moment just to thank everyone for showing up. This really means a lot to me. It means a lot to staff and the culture and community that IDignity has developed over an amazing 13-year run. We will do our best to end right at 9:30, 9:35. And we'll be doing this on the first Thursday of every month. So the next one is June 3rd, right around the same time at 9 o'clock. If you have any questions, please just throw them in the chat box. It's a little bit easier than seeing you wave your hand or something like that. Ben will be muting you unless there is something you need to say. And then we'll also, some of us will be remaining after the call, after the program is done. If anyone has any specific questions they want to ask me or other staff members, or just want to talk a little bit more. So we'll be there. We'd like to start each of our orientations, and especially those that we used to do at our monthly events, with a moment of prayer. We continue that tradition with these mission check-ins. Today we welcome and Reverend Samuel Shaw from First Unitarian Church to open us in prayer. Reverend? And you're going to have to unmute yourself.
Oh, there we go. Okay, good. Thank you, Michael. Before we actually begin, let me just say that, again, I was so taken with that video of Rashawn's story, and it just reminded me of the transformative work that you do with individuals. My tradition, the Unitarian Universalist tradition, one of our core values is the inherent worth and dignity of every person, and especially those who sometimes can't fully live out that worth and dignity, and your work is just at the core of that. So I thank you for that, and just want to, today as you approach your work, to think of the transformative nature of the work and how you bring your gifts into the work of helping people restore their dignity that's given to us from God. So let's take a deep breath and enter into prayer. Gracious Spirit, we cannot invoke your presence, for your presence is everlasting with us, even when we are not aware, which is too much of the time. We invoke our attentiveness to the reality that the place where we are now, here in this moment, on this day, is a place of possibility and transformation, working with your Spirit, using the gifts we are given, to address the needs of our clients, to make us and all things new. This is healing work, this is transformative work, and we breathe deeply of the miraculous gifts bestowed on us today, gifts to share, to discover the dignity of each beloved person who we encounter today. So it is, and so it shall be. And so we pray in all your holy names. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend. Appreciate the kind words and the nice prayer. Great way to start.
Blessings on all you do. So I will maybe run across you before I leave. So thanks.
Thank you. And thank you all for being here this morning. Before I introduce our next sponsor, I'd like to show that video that Reverend Sam talked about. It's just fantastic. I think you'll love it. So it's just a real short video that Ben is going to put up on the screen for us to watch.
What does it mean to have dignity? I used to ask the same question as I wandered this world as a man with no way to prove he belonged anywhere. A clerical error at birth meant that there were two different names on my birth certificate and social security card. And because those documents didn't match, I couldn't get a state ID. And with no state ID, I couldn't work or get an apartment. I ended up homeless with nowhere to go. Hope was fading fast. But the real tragedy here is, I wasn't alone. Did you know that 25 million Americans don't have valid government identification? That's about 1 in every 10 people here in America. But here in Orange County, that works out to about 117,000 people. And no ID means no job, no apartment. Shoot, you can't even recycle here in Orange County without identification. but that's where IDignity comes in.
IDignity formed in 2008 when members of 5 downtown churches sought to solve a unique problem. How do we make sure that our neighbors can obtain this fundamental element of life? IDignity partners with the Orange County Health Department, Social Security Administration, and the Orange County Tax Collector's Office to assist its clients in obtaining their legal identification. IDignity has served over 24,000 clients in the last 13 years, and it's made possible in large part by generous, compassionate people just like you. The truth is, we cannot do this alone. IDignity exists because people like you understand the issue and believe in our mission. In fact, 42% of our operational budget comes from individual households. That means everyday people just like you contribute nearly half of what we use to impact our community. But make no mistake, we don't measure our success in money raised. We measure it in lives like Rashawn's that have been changed by IDignity's donors and volunteers.
My story, like a lot of IDignity stories, has a happy ending. In 2016, I received my ID and amended birth certificate, and from there, I was able to get my driver's license and gain employment, eventually becoming the first ever college-based AmeriCorps recruiter in the history of American higher education. And it's all made possible thanks to the generous support of people just like you. You know, the early church gave as there was need among one another, and IDignity's mission is just like that, in keeping with the commandment of loving your neighbor as yourself. And with your help, we can continue the mission of restoring dignity and hope by providing identification. For just $300 and 6 hours of volunteer time, you can restore a life just like mine. Together, we can restore dignity and hope by creating a stronger, more inclusive community. Will you join us?
We created that video recently for the Share the Plate that the One U Church does for us. They pick a different nonprofit every month, and IDignity received the month of May, which has 5 Sundays. So that was really fortunate, and they showed that video last weekend. So I want to thank One U and all the members from that church for their very generous support. Our corporate sponsor today is One Florida Bank, and we have one of the president from One Florida Bank with us this morning, Rick Pullum. He was not able to get his video on, but he is with us. And Rick, would you please share a little bit about why your bank sponsors the work IDignity does?
Good morning, Ann. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sure. The reason that, well, I'll say that I've been familiar with IDignity since I met Michael about 7 years ago, and a previous company that I was with, we got involved and sponsored one of the monthly events, and I was just absolutely amazed at the impact that IDignity has the capability of making on an individual's life. And a lot of times it's hard to, as you look at how to allocate resources and you look at all the different needs in the community, and we are a community bank, the thing that is really attractive about this mission to me and to the folks at our bank is the very tangible results that are derived from the mission and the impact on the individual lives. And so combine that with the fact that in banking, we are a very regulated industry, as you're probably aware, and the ante to the game to even have a bank account is an identification. So the fact that folks could not open a bank account because they don't have an identification really resonates with most of us here at One Florida. And being a community bank, we're very vested in the community, and our goal is to build the community, which will then build our bank. And I think that this is a fantastic way for us to help build up the community. And we're just really pleased to be involved.
Thank you so much, Rick. Rick joined our board last month, and he's also helping us with our capital campaign. So we appreciate his personal support along with the support from his bank.
Thanks so much for all you do.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ann. Thank you, Rick. And supporters like One Florida Bank is one of the examples of why we are successful, along with the partnerships of many agencies, many organizations, as well as volunteers. So this past month, we had a very good turnout. This has been reflected in our numbers and how many clients we have served. So I would like to just share some of the statistics on how well we did this past month. So our total clients served has been up to this date, 24,130. Our clients served last month, these are unique clients, is 276. How many have we started this past month? And this includes out-of-state birth certificates as well as Florida. It's 92. Social Security cards ordered last month, now that the office is open. Well, they're working with us, they're still closed, but it's 42. So that number is increasing and is helping great. IDignity vouchers I issued this past month is 96, and the volunteer hours this past month has been 542. So thank you so much, everyone who has helped out. They continue to come, and we're very, very thankful for that. Here's Michael with the story.
Yeah, thanks, Bielka. Really great to see us getting more traction with Social Security again. They've obviously been shut down, wow, since last March at least, due to COVID. Thankfully, they're working with us. But yeah, I just wanted to do a little reflection real quick on the 13 years, and wow, IDignity is now a teenager. And as some of you might remember, becoming a teenager is often a time of significant and interesting biological changes, as Ron Lee mentioned. And IDignity has also gone through significant changes over the last couple of years. It is humbling to reflect on the birth of this organization 13 years ago, and it really came from nothing. To recall how we had absolutely no idea what we were doing, yet somehow we knew that something had to be done. And it was this dedication of these 34 founders that spent 6 months developing the model and an immense amount of prayer that started this mission on the path that has gratefully led us to where we are here today. It's been a wonderful ride, and together we've served, as Bielka just mentioned, over 24,000 clients here in Orlando, and that doesn't include the thousands and thousands more through the affiliate locations in the surrounding counties. The IDignity model that we created 13 years ago was pretty much based off of Henry Ford's assembly line model of the efficiencies that happen in that, with 120 volunteers serving 250 clients as they move down the line. And that worked extremely well for 12 years until the pandemic made such large assembly of gatherings very unsafe and at one point illegal. Thankfully, through the creativity and determined volunteers and staff, IDignity was able to reinvent our delivery of client service model to much smaller events 3 days a week with reservations and technology and lots of plexiglass to greatly reduce the potential for a COVID exposure. Interestingly, through this transition, we have discovered that there are significant benefits to this new IDignity 2.0 model that are more effective and actually more dignified than what we could offer at the historic large assembly IDignity 1.0 model. Yet there's also many, many drawbacks, such as no longer having 100 volunteers serving together alongside us and alongside the government agencies, and just the kumbaya that happened in that environment and some of the efficiencies that could happen there as well. For the foreseeable future, it's likely that IDignity will continue operating in this new 2.0 model. Now, as the pandemic environment continues to improve, IDignity will continue to strategize on how we can merge the best of IDignity 1.0 with the improvements of IDignity 2.0 to create a new hybrid IDignity 3.0. And like a teenager, we really don't know what that's going to look like. We have aspirations and we have goals. We just know it's going to look different. And while IDignity's mission will never change, the implementation of how it will look probably will not be quite the same as it was years ago. Yet that is a necessity of growth and, interestingly, changes of becoming a teenager. Regardless of the changes, we're excited about all of the opportunities, and we hope that you'll continue to be part of iDignity's evolution. Thank you all so much for being here, and thank you all for so much that you've done for iDignity, and happy birthday! Yay, confetti, confetti.
So exciting. Yes, we are definitely celebrating 13 years, and that's a big deal. It's a milestone. So we're happy to let you know that although this last year and everything that happened last year happened, we're not going to stay there. We're moving forward, and we have some announcements. So there's always an opportunity to volunteer. If you do not feel comfortable coming back in person, that is fine, because we respect that. We know that there's priorities, taking care of your health, and that's fine. However, if you're ready and you have your vaccine and you've already received your second dose and you want to begin, there is a way that you can get started. So I will go ahead and share that link in the chat, and you can learn about it. You can reach out to me. I'll give you more instructions, and then you can learn and see how you can do it. For anyone who does not want to volunteer yet in person, there's ways that you can volunteer on the phone. So either you can do it from home or you can come to the office. You don't have to be directly serving clients, but you can serve them on the phone. So that information will be also provided to you. There's training involved, and it's very easy, and we need you back. We want you back. We miss you a lot. So those are the announcements. Also, before I move on to the next section here in this meeting, I want to remind everyone that this Sunday is Mother's Day. So everyone who is a mom, anyone who has had a mom, anyone who knows a mom, happy Mother's Day from the iDignity team. We love you so much, and we thank you for the great work that you're doing. So happy Mother's Day to everyone. All right, and moving to the next thing is very, very important. This is, of course, the success of iDignity could not be possible without the support of our volunteers and supporters. So this part is very important. We love this because we get to highlight some of you. And every month we pick one person. And this month we're picking two. It's a couple. It's a very beloved couple, husband and wife, that I had the opportunity and privilege to see recently in person after so many years. No years, but months since last year. So to honor, we're going to give them the Golden Ticket Award. For anyone who's not familiar with what this represents, is basically an award that symbolizes the outstanding hard work and involvement in supporting and promoting the mission of iDignity. We call it the Golden Ticket because this is the name that is given to that one ID, that piece of document that is provided to our clients that opens up so many doors, and is a Golden Ticket Award. So here we want to announce Ron and Barb Lee, who are present in this call. They have served in so many ways. They have helped in the past in the hospitality team, serving our lunches, being so amazing and greeting everyone. Along with that, they are also helping currently with the monthly check-ins, mission check-ins, and even though they're home, one day, very soon, I'm sure they're gonna come in person and help us in many other ways. So help me in congratulating Ron and Barb with the award, and here they are.
Thank you. We just an expression of our involvement, and so proud to be members of the team at iDignity. We entered this several years back, as you said, in hospitality, and I was really skeptical about what might be happening. We were met by such a great, enthusiastic group of people. We were given the tour. And I think the thing that really sold me on becoming part of this was seeing people come off the bus with their IDs in hand, smiling, clapping, sometimes crying. It was just like seeing a baby being born. And I said, I can do this. I want to be part of this.
Yeah, I rattled around the not-for-profit sector all of my life, and happened to be at First Methodist Church, and a guy named Michael Dippy was making a presentation, and very serious and very earnest. And I thought, wow, I've not seen anything quite like that. And the next thing that I remember being significant was we went to Lou Gardens to a breakfast meeting. And I was blown away, having worked with volunteer groups and, being a professional fundraiser. What you experience with the not-for-profit groups is that they're sort of second class in everything they do. And there was Ann Taylor putting together this amazing team, this amazing breakfast with business leaders of the community. And it was just pure class the whole way through. Timely, well done. The presentations were articulate. And we decided, yeah, that's a group that we would like to work with. And from there on, I've tried to participate in a variety of ways, but it was Ann. Then we went Ben over pizza, and his infectious humor, Danielle with her wonderful sense of organization and purpose. And then along came V, and we thought, okay, another one. Let's see how she performs. And what we've discovered is she has matured into the position and just become such a warm, wonderful, hospitable, and articulate person for IDignity. So, in the birthday, I want to lift our hats and celebrate the staff, because you guys are just a phenomenal team, and you face the transitions of the last year in ways that are just amazing. I think IDignity is better than it's ever been, and many places have really suffered during COVID. You've thrived, and so we're really proud to be part of this great group of people. And as I travel nationally, there's just not one quite like it. So hats off. Happy 13th birthday.
And thank you for the honor.
And thanks for the honor. Absolutely.
Thank you, Ron and Barbara. Y'all mean so much to me and so much to this organization, and your credibility speaks volumes, and your passion as well. Thank you very much for your kind words. So I'm going to do a real quick closing. Just really do appreciate y'all spending a little bit of time with us today, celebrating 13 amazing years. Hopefully 13 more to come on the backside of this. If you have any questions, a few of us will be staying around afterwards, but we like to end each of our orientations and now these moments with a quote. And I got one from a fairly well-known author, Roy T. Bennett. It goes like this: when things do not go your way, remember that every challenge, every adversity contains within it the seeds of opportunity and growth. That's where we are today, and thanks to you all, that's where we're going. So appreciate each of you. Have a wonderful day.
Yay! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
13.